Hey, happy Sunday. I am your host, Tony Twixt. This is ATW All Things Wrestling Podcast, and I am joined by my co-host.
Healers. Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning. And good afternoon to David, the PWP Pro Wrestling Pro from the Pro Wrestling Podcast. How you doing today, man?
Good afternoon, everybody. Good morning, and I'm doing great.
Yeah, we got a little lovely sunshine coming out there from behind you. The sun's actually shining in Chicago today.
Yes, sir. It sure is.
But it looks like you might be a little cold rocking the U of M sweater.
It's still like 40 degrees here, so yeah, got to dress with the times, I guess.
Yeah. What's LA looking like, Liz, this morning?
LA is pretty cloudy today, so it's a little bit mellow. It's not as cold as Chicago, so I would say probably like in the 60s or so. So, I mean, even for Californians, that's cold, so it's cold.
Yeah. Well, I'm in beautiful sunny Arizona, northern Arizona, and we've already like almost hit our high today. It's like 60 degrees out. So it's nice. It's springtime here in Prescott, Arizona. So anyway, let's kick off the show. Let me have a sip of this coffee first. All right. So night one, WrestleMania 38. Got the WrestleMania background in the back over here. Overall, I think it was a solid show. Nothing spectacular, to be honest with you. The beginning of it, I thought sucked. The first, 4 matches? We're going to swing to our guest today. He'll have the floor first. PWP, what are your thoughts on WrestleMania 38 overall? And we can maybe kind of break it down a little bit.
Overall, I thought it was not stupendous at all. It was really, it's really fucking boring. I think the only saving graces were probably the first women's belt title match, and maybe the Cody match, and Stone Cold. Other than that, it felt like a Raw to me. It felt like I was watching another Raw. Like it was just your typical WWE product.
I mean, to be honest with you, WrestleMania, you gotta I don't know. I know Kenny from the Call Up podcast was talking shit because he's like, "Oh, don't let Tony book this shit." But don't you want to kick the show off with a killer match? I think Bianca Belaire and Becky could have kicked WrestleMania off. I didn't have high hopes for Charlotte and Ronda match, but Charlotte can try to carry Ronda as best as she can, but I just thought the way they started it off was pretty lackluster, and then the first 3 matches I was like, this is fucking boring. What's happening?
That's another problem I had with it too, is that why didn't they separate the women title matches 2 nights? Why did they have it all on the same night?
Well, it sounds like, from what I was hearing and reading, with rumors, of course, Ronda Rousey, for some reason, thought that they were headlining night 1, and there was rumors that she stormed out or walked out of the Hall of Fame ceremony because she got news that they weren't headlining and that she almost quit. She's kind of a crybaby. She kind of always has. I'm not big on her. Yeah, this is the news that came out this morning, that she almost quit the show and then almost quit WWE, but they said cooler heads prevailed. So if you didn't hear that news, you're hearing it first here on ATW, All Things Wrestling.
No wonder that match was so sloppy.
I know, Liz, you're hungover. You went to a concert last night. You said your boyfriend had to take you to a concert because he let you go to all the wrestling shows. So you're catching up on everything. What was your overall thoughts, and how did you think the show started off?
Honestly, the beginning is a blur, so I can't even say that it was stupendous. Because I was trying to start watching it when I got home after I was shit-faced. I was trying to eat dinner and I was watching it. I know I left halfway through the match or something, and this morning I continued it, but nothing that I don't think it started in a way where I would have been like, holy shit, let me just start all over again. wherever but I was a little bit disappointed with that Ronda and Charlotte match though. I was expecting a little bit more. I was hoping that Ronda, laced up her boots a little bit. Like she just trained more. I just hoped that she was training more, but I didn't get that. I just got the same Ronda as it was before. I know I'm a huge Ronda fan. Don't get me wrong, but it's just the same 5 moves that she does. And I was expecting a little bit more, even more, it being WrestleMania and her coming back and, everything and being a different type of Ronda. I feel like she's more of a mommy now because, her mom role and everything. So I feel like she's starting to take this into WWE. I don't know if her little BF bitch fit, regarding to her not, headlining has probably something to do with it, like her just being like really emotional about the situation. I'm pretty sure she thought, did she win the Royal Rumble this year?
Yeah, that's why she got to pick the match with Charlotte.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that's why she was under the impression that she was going to headline one of the nights, coming with Roman and Brock. I'm pretty sure she knew she was not going to headline night 2 on Sunday. So she probably assumed night 1 was going to be her thing. But even then, I mean, I feel like how Charlotte won was perfect for her. Being Charlotte Flair and coming from the daughter of the dirtiest player in the game. I feel like the way that she won it was at least good enough for me to be like, okay, you know what? They could continue their story. If Ronda were to come back to, the women's thing. But aside from that, the Cody pop, oh, I loved it. I was like, oh my God, I know he's coming out, but the anxiety, I was just like, damn. But I think that was one of the cool, exciting things about it. Just like the crowd of how crazy it got once those lights went out, because everybody was like with their phones, and I was like, look at everybody with their phones out. So I thought that was pretty cool. That was I think one of the moments where it kind of had me like, close to my screen this morning. I was like, damn, I wish I could have been there to experience that. But so far, like the beginning, it wasn't stupendous. Like you said, David, I would agree. Maybe it's a little bit more of what we would see on Raw. The one thing I did like of all the matches was that they went a little bit longer than I expected. I expected them to be cut a little bit shorter because there were so many matches for the night. But I think so far, at least the length of the matches were decent and good enough for me.
Well, I think after hearing that or reading that news, I'm thinking after Ronda maybe threw her fit, that they might have changed the ending of that match. Maybe Ronda was scheduled to win the belt. I think kind of leading into it, I thought Ronda, since she won, she won the Rumble, that, for her to agree to come back, that she would probably end up winning the belt. But maybe after the bullshit that she pulled, maybe they decided, we're just going to keep the belt on Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
So just to kind of let's kind of break down the matches.
Professionalism in it.
Oh yeah, exactly. Ronda, going back to her UFC days, is anything but professional. If anybody knows her history going back to UFC. But let's break down these matches. The Usos and Shinsuke Nakamura and Boogs kicked off the night. I think Shinsuke and Boogs were really supposed to win that match, but he got hurt. He legit got hurt, and then the Usos won. So what do you guys think of that match?
I didn't know if – oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, David. Go ahead.
No, I did not know initially. I thought they were working us when he said that his knee buckled, because you know how they like to do that just to push a storyline.
Yeah.
But the minute that he went right off the ring and kind of just grabs his knee and doctors were surrounding him, it was kind of like, it was obvious, like, holy, maybe he really, and maybe it wasn't the goal. Maybe they were supposed to win to give him that moment, and you could tell that they had to pull an audible as soon as that happened, because they were just pulling out all the moves that you would typically do right at the end of a match.
Mm-hmm.
And then, that was it. I think that was the start of me also saying, like, this is trash already, because it's not starting out so good. So, but yeah, that's what I thought about it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a solid match. I'm not big on any of those guys. I know people love the fucking Usos. I'm just so sick of those dudes. And I was kind of hoping that Shinsuke and Boogs would win it. And just from the stories I was reading, backstage, it sounds like they were scheduled to win it because it says the ending of the match changed. What'd you think about it, Liz?
I personally, I love Shinsuke. He's so much fun. Not when he's telling everybody not to cheer for him. I didn't like that one. But this Shinsuke, I like him with Boogs.
Yeah.
That dude looks incredible. He looks amazing. I feel like him being with Shinsuke was perfect. A big guy and then a striker, perfect. As far as the match itself, I honestly did think it was gonna go in their direction. I was like, okay, maybe they're gonna dethrone the Usos, but I was just like, there's no way they're gonna dethrone the Usos. Like, I kind of felt like there was not. There wasn't a point where I was just like, okay, that's it. They're gonna take it. The Usos are gonna lose. I kind of like the whole match was like, I'm pretty sure they're gonna keep it. They're gonna keep it. Because I didn't see the entire match. I believe I didn't see that entire match because right when that match started, I was already like making line to head inside. So I watched the beginning of it. But it was. I hope that they get the title match, a second title match in the future, maybe. But I want to see Boogs by himself, like as a singles competitor. I think tag team to start off with, maybe. But I feel like as a singles competitor, he would probably give that little shine. But his leg buckling, damn, that was scary. I was just like, damn, there's no way that he was gonna get injured, especially seeing Stand and Deliver like right before. I don't know if you guys got to catch that. One of I forgot his name. Why do I always forget his name? Threw himself and messed up his arm, and I was like, damn, everybody's gonna get injured today. So I'm glad he's not too crazy injured, like it was just at the moment. As far as anything goes, I haven't followed up with his knee injury for Boogs, but that match alone, it was good. I liked it, but I didn't think that they were the team to take the titles away from the Usos.
Yeah, I mean, I think as individuals, they're probably better. I think Shinsuke is probably a better heel. And that guy Boogs, I think he can have a nice babyface run whenever he comes back. I don't know if it was his knee or his quad that he injured, but hopefully he's not too seriously injured and the guy comes back. He's got a great look and he's got a killer, huge personality. So I don't know if you could give that guy a big push when he comes back. That would be something nice to see. There was a match that was supposed to be on the card, but they said due to time constraints, they pulled it. It was going to be Kofi and Xavier Woods versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland and Butch or whatever. So I don't know. They said they pulled it because due to time constraints, but I think they're saying they're putting the match back on this today's card, I guess.
Oh shit! I want to see that. I love Xavier Woods, well, King Woods, and him coming back. I feel like if Biggie wouldn't have gotten injured, it would have been perfect for Woods to come back for Mania and then be all together. More being because Sheamus has there are 3 men, so then being 3 against 2, it would have just been Biggie and Kofi if Biggie would have gotten injured, and then Xavier either coming out right before Mania, like that Monday before Mania, or coming out at Mania and being like, oh, guess what, guys, King Woods is back. I feel like that would have been perfect, but timing, I mean, shit happens and they had to add him on earlier. But I feel like New Day reuniting as a 3 would have been perfect.
Yeah. What do you think, PWP?
I hope he sees it.
I think they wouldn't have had a problem with time constraints if they stopped putting recap fucking video messages every time they did something. It was so ridiculous, man.
Like a year ago, and then they start going until like a day, like to what is going on now, and I'm just like, dude, just get away.
Yeah, it's like we know why we're here. We know why these matches are happening. We don't need a recap of something that happened 2 weeks ago. And maybe that's why they could have had a 10-minute match instead of a 10-minute video package. But anyways, I'm excited as long as they can get that match in there. As long as the New Day gets another WrestleMania moment, I'm okay with that. I'm not
So
a big
you're
I'm not
excited
a big
for this match?
No, like I'm about to say, like I'm not a big New Day guy
Oh, right.
at all. I think it's really, really tiring. I think that tag team has played out a long
Right.
time ago, but
So did you burn your Booty-O's shirt and all your Booty-O's gear? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, I got my Booty-O shirt. I got my Kofi championship shirt from like 3 years ago. Yeah, I got it all on. Yeah, no. But I don't know, man. Like maybe I don't know, maybe it's for the best. Maybe they don't need a WrestleMania. I'll take that. I'll take everything I said back. Fuck it.
Come on, man. You gotta have conviction.
You
gotta have conviction. If that's what your opinion is, then damn it, that's what your opinion is. I fucking hate the New Day. The New Day suck. Stick by it. Stick by it.
Listen, I don't hate them. I just dislike them. There's a difference.
All right. Well, anyways, let's jump back to night one. I can't remember which match was next. I'm getting them a little bit maybe out of order, but you got the Mysterios versus Logan Paul and The Miz. Now, The Miz, when The Miz tags teams with people, it's fucking stupid. The Miz is such a better performer as a singles guy. I think he's a top guy in the WWE. You know, he's done it all. You know, he's not the biggest guy, but the guy's charisma, he's solid. You know, he's got great charisma. He's solid in the ring. I was not looking forward to this match at all. I could give two shits about the Mysterios and Logan Paul and The Miz. But the ending of the match was pretty cool with The Miz turning on Logan Paul and giving him his finisher. What'd you guys think of this match?
I expected less from Logan, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not a huge fan of the Pauls at all. I don't watch them.
Anybody.
I know nothing about them. I just know that they're hated and disliked. But at least for this match, I was a little bit impressed. I was like, okay, he did do his training, and I think it was just the confidence in him. Like he looked like he's been there before. That for me, I was just like, damn, like, you know, anyone else would have been a little bit nervous. Who knows? You know, it's WrestleMania, you know, the Super Bowl of wrestling. So I feel like anyone else could have gotten nervous. Maybe he took some pointers from Bad Bunny, like, you know, he could do that. I could do it too, you know, even more him being, you know, an athlete. But I was sad that the Mysterios lost. I was sad because of the whole thing of the dad and son type of thing. Maybe it's just me because I remember seeing Dom when he was, you know, hella young. I think we're like around the same age or so. So I remember seeing him on TV, and I'm just like, damn, like that's so cool. Like, you know, to be able to say like, hey dad, like I want to wrestle, and eventually be able to be at WrestleMania with your dad. Like when they came out together and they did the US flag and the Mexican flag, I was just like, oh my God. I'm huge on intros. Outfits, like everything. When Logan Paul came out, I knew exactly, well, before he had taken his pics and stuff with his whole fit, that I was like, okay. I was like, I am huge on just intros and their whole outfits. I love how WrestleMania, they go above and beyond for that shit. So I do give Logan Paul his credit. When it came to it, I did not like that he did the Three Amigos, and he did that whole trying to mock him because mock Ray with Eddie. I didn't like that. I was just like, the disrespect. But maybe because I'm Latina, so I'm just like, I'm like, stop, don't do that, don't do it.
Well, he did his job because he's a heel. He made you want to
exactly.
The crowd just hated that, but he pulled it off.
Exactly. That was the one thing I was like, okay. I'm like, he is a good performer. When it came to being there, when they were asking, if they would see him being back in actual wrestling and things like that, I'm like, I wouldn't be mad because he would be a perfect heel. He would be another Miz practically. He just needs, the rest of the training and, stuff like that. But overall, I was a little bit impressed by Logan Paul, I'm not going to lie. But I was sad that the Mysterios lost. But I feel like David feels this whole other way.
Uh-oh. He just beat on his face.
He's just like,
no way.
All right, what's the word, PWP? What'd you think?
Okay, so there's so many things to take away from this match, just this one match, right? One, what kind of world do we live in where a guy that used to be a YouTuber is a lot better wrestler than Dominic Mysterio, who's been doing it for almost 2 years now?
Right?
Like, come on, man.
He's getting better, but
is he? Because that match did not show. That was not a showcase of him.
I feel
being
like
better.
he's taking. I think he's taking more of a leap now. Like I feel like probably before when he started, he was holding back a little bit. Now he's trying to get a little bit more comfortable in the ring. But like you said, how can you be there for 2 years and not feel as comfortable as somebody that's just hopping in for?
But
it's
in his blood. It's in his blood. It's in his lineage. It's his family. It's people that he grew up. I mean, this kid should be like amazing. He should be
on his own already. He should be on his own already. That's
right.
I'm surprised he has it. I'm surprised he.
To be honest with you, the only way I think this would have ended better is if Dominic turned on his dad. That would have been awesome. Him to go heel. His dad's like never been a heel. If he went heel, turned on his dad, now we're talking that this kid can blow up, right? But no, they're not. I guess they're probably not breaking them up anytime soon. So, anyways, go ahead, man. Sorry. What? Give all your thoughts on the match.
No, yeah, and it's all good. And also it's just the simple fact that if Logan Paul looked, I'm not gonna lie, Logan Paul looked really good in that match, but it just overshadows like everything that I have a problem with WWE is that we give these celebrities so much time to do what they can do, but don't give anybody like Ricochet time to do what he can do. Exactly. Barely. We saw him twice in the past 6 months. One of them, he won a Intercontinental Championship, shit like that. I just think giving these celebrities the limelight overshadows a bunch of the superstars they already have. But I digress. There's just, I don't know. That's just the issue I have with it. Also, the turn with The Miz and Logan Paul, I don't really understand that. Are they trying to prolong this storyline? Or is
I'm thinking they're taking it to Hollywood. That's my prediction.
But that's a year away, though.
But I mean, how long don't they take to build shit up? Sometimes they take their sweet time. What happened with Cena and Rock? It took so months, like a year in advance, and like the Mania right before, and then the following year Mania, and the year after that they went back to back.
So are you saying that like Logan Paul is going to go away? And then they'll bring that back later, or is Logan Paul going to show up on fucking Monday Night Raw, and they're going to milk this? I mean, I don't know. Like, I totally get what you're saying, but I mean, I guess we got to see Logan Paul maybe go away for a while, right? In order to kind of
either that or come in like here and there, like basically what Johnny Knoxville's doing. What Johnny Knoxville
talk about that.
Coming in and out, things like that. How long have they haven't prolonged, that situation with Sammy? They were promoting it because of the movie, and then from there he just continued on, and now he's at WrestleMania. So I don't know. I feel, at least for me, once I saw that, I was just like, damn, like I feel like they're gonna take it to Mania 39 because it is in Hollywood.
Right. It's crazy though how we are basically setting up a storyline a year in advance for a celebrity versus a wrestler.
Right. I mean, I guess we'll see what happens.
For me, I just think it's money-wise. I think it just has to do with money. He has followings, it's not some, it's not like they're adding someone that no one kind of like, knows, especially being somebody that, someone that they hate. People want to see him get beat up. Unfortunately, it didn't happen with the match. He won against some Mysterios, but he got his face planted, after the match. And
but I mean, Logan Paul is the perfect heel, and Miz is the heel. So how do they play this? Because there's no way you're going to get the WWE universe to get behind Logan Paul and actually cheer for him.
No, of course not. No.
So Miz is the good guy in the scenario? I don't understand.
He's
Miz
not
is
the good
not
guy, not the good guy. No, exactly. He's not the good guy. He's not the baby face. He's not the face, everything. But he is gonna be, I think he's just gonna set more in stone, so to say, I guess, that he's the ultimate heel. Like there's nobody that can come from, Hollywood, from YouTube, from reality shows, from whatever it is, and then come into WWE and do what he does. So I feel like it's just setting it more like, I'm the Miz. I feel like that's just how that's playing out. Because I mean, we all know Logan Paul's hated. The Pauls are hated. All of that stuff. So I feel like the perfect person for that to happen was, I mean, it's the Miz. Miz is fucking ruthless. Like he's just, I don't care. He's like, I'll go ahead and help you, but guess what? Like I'm gonna turn, like right when all of that happened, I was like, we all know you do not tag team with the Miz unless you're John Morrison. That's it. I was like, other than that, you just don't do it. Eventually he turns on you, things like that. But I feel like that is just setting in stone that he is the ultimate heel going up against or trying, to do a whole beef thing with Jake Paul or Logan Paul, sorry.
Yeah,
same person.
One of those clowns. Yeah, same guy.
same difference.
Well, let's jump to the next match that no one probably gives two shits about. Happy Corbin and Drew McIntyre.
Can we vote to skip?
Right. Well, let's just say this. McIntyre becomes the first WWE superstar to kick out of End of Days. They made a huge fucking deal about it. And then, and Corbin, we don't even have to break this fucking match down. McIntyre, he karate chops the ropes with his stupid sword, breaks the ring. I'm like, come on. I mean, anybody else have any thoughts on that bullshit?
No, I think you pretty much summed it up.
I think that should have been like a pre-show match.
Right? Karate chop the ropes.
I mean, I'm like, come on. What are they doing here?
That was goofy, man. That was some cartoon shit.
Right?
That was definitely something that could have stayed on Raw.
Yeah, definitely. See, that's another thing. See, it definitely was a Raw thing.
Well, they used to have WrestleMania kickoff matches in the kickoff show, but on the kickoff show, it's them just talking about the same shit for like an hour.
2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours.
They were sure for 2 hours.
They could have some matches on the kickoff show, right? And kind of get the crowd going, but
they usually do. Yeah,
they would watch the kickoff show and watch the same video packages again 2 hours later.
Right, exactly.
Ridiculous.
So a lot of wasted airtime, right? Is that kind of what we're getting to? Is just a shit ton of wasted airtime, things repeated over and over. How many? Okay, so for today, how many times are you gonna? How much story time is Lesnar and Roman gonna get? Right? They're just
gonna get a whole hour watch.
They're gonna beat that to death the whole show. I mean, it's gonna be just stupid. So, anyways, so we're skipping over
an hour just to get to the ring.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah, Roman Reigns. Maybe we should bet on it now. How long does it take to get to the ring? I'm going to say 12 minutes.
12? That's actually pretty good. I'll say 10.
10 minutes? Liz,
Damn, I'm going to keep it at, let's see. You said 10, you said 12. I'll say 11.
11? Okay.
11.
Yeah, I mean, let's just see how long it takes Roman to get to the fucking ring today. Anyway, let's go into the next match. Let's talk about Becky and Bianca Belaire. Did anyone else think Bianca's intro was just sick with the marching band? I thought that was pretty badass.
I loved it. I think she's for the people, so I think it was perfect. My thing, I wonder, like, do they come up with these intros? Like, they're like, hey, I want to get this band for my intro at Mania, or is this just something that's put on the table and she gets to pick? Because I thought it was a great idea. I'm like, so if it was hers, like, shit, all credit is due to her, because that was amazing. I think adding that little touch of the people it's amazing. I thought it was great. I loved it. It kind of gave me like when Cena came out with a whole line of people, or like when Undertaker came out with a whole line, like all of that. I was just like, damn, like it's amazing. I thought it was great. I loved her intro. Becky Lynch, she just came in like she's a boss. Like, she's a bad bitch. She's a fucking champion. I loved her outfit though.
Really?
I did.
I was like, what the fuck is she wearing?
I love it because she looked hella edgy, and I'm just like, shit, like I'm trying to recreate that. But like I said, I'm huge into like the entrances and their fits and like all of that stuff. Like Mania is like the one time I'm just like I'm dying to see what they're gonna come up with, what are they gonna wear, what their intro's gonna look like. Their entrances, things like that. But Bianca Belaire, I really did enjoy her intro. I feel like it just solidified that, she's a people's champion, I guess you can say.
Right. PWP, what'd you think the intro? And then let's jump into what'd you think of the match?
All right. Yeah, I like the intro. I think honestly, those two had the intro of the night. It was as far as like theme goes. Like, I think they're the only ones that went for an extravagant intro. Am I wrong? Or am I?
No, I mean, Cody's intro was pretty badass too. So,
but yeah, I thought it was good. There was a moment in time, and this is not a race thing at all. I don't care about that. Don't cancel me, please. But there was a moment in time where the lighting was so bright on Bianca's face. I swear to God, she wore white face.
Because of her makeup?
Yeah, the makeup. I thought it was. I was like, is she wearing white face? And I thought, okay, never mind. We're good. I was like, whoa.
I'm about to cancel you. You're about to get canceled.
Yeah, I'm about to get canceled for sure. But I
just say your last name. Just say, hey, don't worry. I'm cool. I'm cool with y'all. That's all right.
Yeah. We're good. I'm just saying, but
that's funny.
I thought it was like that.
Go back and watch that.
I don't know if it was like my screen or something, but it looked like it. But the more I saw her come out, it was like Liz was saying, it was very it was cool. It was different. I don't know if they have their ideas planned out before then, because if so, kudos to her. And as far as the actual match goes, I thought it was the best match, second to best match of the night.
Yeah, you think second to best match of the night? Yeah, I'm kind of. It's kind of a toss up for me between this match or Cody and Seth's match. Both these were the two best matches of the night for sure. Bianca gets over. She gets the win. She gets retribution for her squash match with her and Becky back in what was that, in Saudi Arabia, right, when she got squashed.
Yeah. No, that was SummerSlam.
SummerSlam. Yeah,
one or the other. She got squashed. So she gets the belt back. Do they continue their feud? I don't know. There's a lot of talented ladies on Monday Night Raw, so we'll kind of see where we're headed with this.
Let me ask you this, Tony and Liz. Since they're planning on unifying the WWE and Universal Championships coming up, do you think we'll get a unification of the women's?
I hope
I haven't seen that, so I don't know. I hope not. I enjoy both brands having its own champion. I enjoy seeing both titles. Like, they're beautiful. I mean, you can see them right here. So I love them just having their own. Raw has its own champion, women's champion, and because I mean, back then it used to be like that when they had the women, just one women's title. Right. I don't know. I feel like there's many talented women that, having two titles it's a lot better, so that you have more competition to want to be either or than have to just one and everybody's just trying to get to that, particular title. And it makes it hard for, I believe, at least for me, I would think that it would make it just a little bit more harder for, all the other people that are trying to come out from like the back and trying to be like, hey, notice me, like, just don't look at the same 5 people. And I feel like just one title, it's going to remain with the same 5 people. At least 2 titles, it's going to give an opportunity to somebody else. Hopefully, as of right now, I mean, we're seeing, Liv Morgan get pushed up and things like that. I really hope Lacey Evans fucking returns, because I love her. So hopefully she returns for Monday Night Raw. So
here's where I'm at with it. I think unifying it would bring more talent to come up, and they would have push more light on them. Only because I think it works on a singles way. Obviously, we've seen what happens when they do a tag team title now. That it doesn't work because they don't have enough tag teams. But they have enough singles competitors. So, I mean, I think one title, you see a bunch of new faces come up. They may not win it, but at least you'll see them come up and challenge for it each and every week. Maybe.
Right.
That's true. Something like basically what's going on with NXT. They only have one women's title, and you're just having. I mean, I could see that, but if I don't know, yeah. I mean, I agree to disagree.
Okay.
I personally think it's time for them to make one world title for the men, one world title for the women. But for the men, you got the Intercontinental, you got the other belt, what is it? They still have the European title? Do they still have that garbage?
The UK, right?
No, like
I don't think so.
The United States Championship, which is the one that. Okay, so the women, I think it's time to introduce like an Intercontinental type of belt for the women, because for like the up and coming stars that maybe not ready to be the world champ yet, they can get, go for that belt. You know what I mean? Just like the men have options, right? I mean, they're not really pushing the Intercontinental and all that anymore like they used to. I mean, that used to be a prestigious title. I mean, Chris Jericho's hands down the greatest Intercontinental champion of all time.
Next.
It's like they need a belt like that for the women, I believe. Unify the world title and then have another secondary title for the women.
Well, Tony, Dana Brooks, 24/7 champion.
They might as well call that the garbage can champion. Throw that shit in the garbage. So anyway, sounds like Bianca and Becky had a hell of a match. I know they did. I saw it. It was great. Two amazing performers. The women, like always, they tear down the house when they're on the pay-per-view. But let's jump to not tearing down the house. We could quickly talk about Charlotte and Ronda. This match was hard to watch. Even Charlotte, who I feel, in my opinion, I know some other folks on that we talked to will disagree. I think Charlotte, hands down, is the best women's wrestler in WWE, AEW. She's phenomenal athlete, perfect heel. She embodies the Flair persona. She couldn't carry Ronda. Ronda's that bad that she couldn't carry her. What did you guys think?
Yeah. Honestly, I'm going to be honest, even though I was kind of looking forward to this match because of how it started, I was kind of like doing other stuff. So I wasn't like fully like focused and sitting there and being like, oh my God, like this is an amazing match. I have to sit down and keep watching it. No, like I was doing other stuff. So I was kind of like here and there watching it. But it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't something that I was like, oh my God, I expected more. Like I was saying earlier, I was expecting Ronda to be hella training in order for her to get in a match, because it's Charlotte Flair. Like, it's not like you could just go in there and, get her in a freaking armbar and that's it. Like it's Charlotte Flair. This girl is 5'10", throwing herself off from the top rope. Like it's, I don't know. I expected too much. I'm sad. I expected a lot more from the match, but at the end of the day, Charlotte looked good. I I was saying, I liked the finish. I like how it ended, like, her just pinning her for that distraction. So maybe it adds up. Everybody could be over, their storyline. I feel like they probably have just a little bit more to go. I feel like Ronda has a lot to learn from Charlotte. And I feel like her being in a storyline with her, she can learn a lot from her. I personally think so. And I think
Ronda a lot to learn, period.
Yeah, I feel like Ronda would be better as a heel, but for some reason she wants to come out and she wants people to cheer for her. She wants to be cheered. She doesn't want to be booed. She doesn't like being booed, things like that. But I feel like she would be the ultimate heel if she would allow herself to not take in too much of the criticism of what everybody's saying, things like that. I feel like she's probably holding herself back on but being with Charlotte, I feel like she could learn a lot from her. But the match wasn't one of my top matches, I would say, for Charlotte or Ronda.
PWP thoughts?
I agree. She could learn a lot from Charlotte. I mean, she's had chance after chance after chance with Charlotte. Like, what was that one WrestleMania 35 where they had the triple threat
The
to
triple
combine?
threat. But I feel like it was more on Ronda and Becky at that time. It wasn't Charlotte was just in the mix because she was the champion. But I feel like at that Mania, it was more about Becky and Ronda, which I thought Ronda would go against Becky. But of course, we all know that EST was going to be coming back up to get that title back from Becky. So her going to Charlotte, I wasn't too surprised, but I feel like that Mania that you were speaking about, I think it was more about Becky than it was about Charlotte.
Well, we'll quickly glance over this match because it sucked. I think it let a lot of steam out of the room with this match. I think the crowd was probably surprised at how bad this match was. Ronda she can't get over with the fans, and I think it pisses her off to no end. And so she almost looks like the heel in the match, but really Charlotte's supposed to be the heel. That's why, like, the in-ring chemistry, all of that, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And this shit was garbage. So Charlotte gets the win. Ronda goes back and cries, I'm sure, afterwards. Let's just go ahead and jump to I would say my match of the night is going to be with Rollins and Cody. It was the whole lead up to it. Is Cody going to show? Is Cody going to not show? There was news that came out. It says that, Cody's off the table like a night, 2 nights before this happened. It was perfect being played behind the scenes. All along, it was going to be Cody against Seth. Seth had a really cool, I thought, intro. I dug it. I loved it. I'm a huge Rollins fan. I wasn't a big fan of this character at first, but I am now. Seth can do anything. Like, he's a perfect heel. He can be a baby face. He's phenomenal on the mic. He's great in the ring. Cody's entrance, I thought, just blew the roof off the house. Mm-hmm. And his entrance, I mean, you could just see it on this guy's face. Like, he was home. You know what I mean? You can say what you want about him leaving AEW, blah, 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 this and that. But the match, I think Cody was nervous at first. It looked like he was a little nervous to start the match. But it took him a few minutes, but he got into a groove, man. And him and Seth, they tore it down. We'll jump to you, PWP. What do you think? What were your thoughts on it?
Okay, I just want to start off by saying that I thought the match was good. But I think the only reason why the match was good is because your typical Cody versus AEW match, which are typically good. It's just that nobody really liked him when he was there. Right. You know what? I've gotten some time since last night to think it over, and I was a little bit bitter about it because Cody was the guy. At one point he was the creator of AEW. But now that I think about it and the history with him and that company and his dad, I sort of understand and I can sympathize why he would come back. And I think, honestly, it's a good fit for him. And that match was phenomenal for the most part. It was good. Like I said, though, it was just your typical AEW match. I don't know what the future holds for him, but I hope it's not holding the 24/7 championship.
Well, he did an interview and said that he's going to do something that his dad never could do in the old WWF days. He's going to win the world title. I think Cody is a main event guy. I think he is a potential world champion. You can say what you want about him going to AEW and being, the startup over there with them. But, I mean, he's a WWE guy at heart, man. I mean, I kind of had a feeling he was going to be coming home back to WWE. I mean, he had something to prove. He went off to AEW. He showed he can be the guy. He can win world championships. That last match he had with Sammy Guevara in AEW was one hell of a way to go out the door.
Yeah.
Right? So he comes to WWE. He proves it. Last night, man, I mean, you can say what you want. It was a typical Cody match. But the in-ring psychology with him and Seth, the way they were playing off each other, man. Go back and watch that match again. I think it was a phenomenal match. I'm sure everyone in the back was pleasantly pleasantly happy with the outcome of the match and how it played out. What do you think, Liz?
I have to agree with both of you guys. I thought it was one of the greatest matches of the night. It was he came to what I was expecting him, like what we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, that how did we think that he was going to be returning as Stardust, as Cody, and we're like, I hope it's just Cody. You know, he's a good performer, so I thought he could put on a hell of a show. I think just the ending of that match was what he needed. It's what his soul needed. In a way, I guess to say, because AEW, he was getting booed. I mean, I remember when he was when he tossed his what's it, back brace, and they tossed it back at him.
I was at that one.
Yeah.
So I like, to see that, and I understand, him leaving WWE, going to AEW, building everything, but at the end, he wasn't everyone's favorite there, even though he was putting on great matches. I thought it sucked because I love Cody, even before he had left WWE. And I just didn't like that Stardust gimmick. Unfortunately, I just didn't like it. It wasn't my cup of tea. So him leaving and rebuilding himself to come back and be able to show that side of him at Mania, especially against Seth Rollins, was perfect. I feel like it was worthy of being one of the last matches, maybe the second, if not the main event. But I thought it was a great match. I didn't expect anything less from Cody, and his entrance was fucking great too.
Oh, that was I was losing it over his entrance. His entrance was fucking awesome. Just how he came up from the stage. I was so glad he got to keep the American Nightmare gimmick and the music.
Mm-hmm.
And the crowd fucking lost it. The WWE universe is going to embrace him. And that's what he needs. You know what I mean?
I want to say this, that his entrance was exactly like the AEW entrance, just with a bigger budget.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, man. It's okay. It's okay. Let it go. Let it go. He's not in AEW anymore. It's all good. It's all good. Back in the day, guys jumped from WWE to WCW and back and forth and back and forth. You could almost compare it to, well, no, I was going to say you could compare it to Hogan leaving WWF, going to WCW, making WCW, then coming back to WWE, but it's not really the same thing because Hogan was the biggest thing in the world, and Cody was a joke, really, when he left WWE. The whole Stardust character was way undervalued, and he was just a gimmick. And now he's not a gimmick. Like, this is who he wants to be. You know what I mean? He did it in AEW. Now he's going to prove it in WWE. So
right. That's one night, though. We'll see what happens in 6 months.
Well, that's it.
He did it for 3 years with AEW.
But that's really what's up to WWE. It's not really up to Cody. Cody's got the potential. He can make the run for the title. It's really what is WWE going to do with these damn world titles after this whole Lesnar and Reigns thing? But we'll jump to night 2 here in just a second. So let's jump to the main event, which Kenny from the Call Up podcast was losing it, I'm sure, because he's a huge Stone Cold fan. I'm a huge
I haven't gotten there yet.
But to be honest with you, I think this only went over well because of the nostalgia factor. It was a little painful to watch at first. Stone Cold looked like he couldn't even move. I mean, I'm like, what's happening? But then when they went outside the ring, because it was a no-holds-barred match, I mean, it was a solid match. Should it have been the main event? I don't know. But I think they pulled it off well. They pulled it together. Stone Cold got his official goodbye, his official retirement match, doing it in Dallas, where he said he started off his career. And I guess it was a fitting goodbye for Stone Cold Steve Austin. From a match standpoint, it was okay. I think, for a guy that hasn't wrestled in 19 years, he looked good. He looked good, but it was a little painful at first because it looked like he couldn't even walk. So PWP, what'd you think, man?
You know me, man. I don't like those nostalgia cash grabs as much as most guys do. But
yeah,
as far as like a goodbye goes, I thought in a match, I thought it was good. It gave me it made me happy. I'm not gonna lie, it put a smile on my face, especially when he started mud kicking KO and then giving him the middle finger. Yeah, they were bad, but I mean, he's what, 50 in his 50s, 60s?
No, he's got to be close to 60, man. To be honest with you.
I mean, it's not going to be perfect. Plus, there's a little bit of ring rust there if you haven't done it for 19 years. So, yeah, I thought it was good. I'm not going to lie.
And then, Liz, you said you haven't got to watch it yet?
I haven't. So I was trying to catch up this morning, but I stopped right when KO was about to start. His song was about to kick off. It said KO. I was like, pause. Be right back.
Well, it's worth watching, but it's a little rough to watch at first. But it gets better as it goes on. And Stone Cold got his goodbye. So, I mean, there you go.
That's cool. He got the closure that he needed.
Yeah, for sure.
Leave, because of it. I feel like going back to Levante's comment, he's like, them kicks in the corner. You have to remember, Stone Cold has bad knees.
Right.
So, he can't, his kicks aren't the same as everyone else's. So he has bad knees. I mean, just like you see all these Hall of Famers when they're walking. I mean, it's sad to say, but their bodies are beat. 19 years and you trying to come back. I understand there's, Sting's doing it, all of that stuff, but, he hasn't stopped. And you have Stone Cold that, had to be put on the shelf, for the rest of his career. He had to end his career early and then, all this. But I will be watching it after we wrap up here and stuff, because I do want to watch it. I want to see Stone Cold. It was kind of like, that was the main reason why I was kind of like, oh man, I'm gonna miss it because of that I don't know, like for me, when you get a crowd pop, like I feel those goosebumps. I'm just like shit, like I kind of feel like I'm there. So I do want to feel that. I'm just like, I want to feel the energy, and I already want to see Stone Cold. He hasn't been coming out these last couple weeks that KO has been doing his promos and stuff, aside from like those video packages that he does, shoots them over and they're like played and stuff. So I'm excited to see him.
Well, yeah, definitely check it out. So that does it for night one of WrestleMania. Overall, okay show. Solid, but WrestleMania worthy? Probably not.
Yeah.
Right?
That's why I wish they would have just done it in one night.
Yeah,
instead of doing it 2 nights.
2-night WrestleMania, I think, is stupid. It's too much wrestling, man. Like, just make the show one show, do a few kickoff, show matches, and get the matches that really deserve to be on a WrestleMania card. I mean, this is supposed to be their Super Bowl. All these matches from start to finish should be like shit. You got to be like, I don't know which match I want to pick for match tonight, right? But no, it was 2 matches that were great. Becky and Bianca, Cody and Seth. And the only reason why people are loving KO and Stone Cold is for the nostalgia factor. But it wasn't a good match. You know what I mean? So anyways, night one, solid show. I got my feelings about night 2. I don't know about night 2. I got the card right here. We'll break it down really quick. Omos and Bobby Lashley. I have a feeling this match is going to be hard to watch. Omos is pretty garbage in the ring.
And on the mic.
Bobby Lashley is a great wrestler. He's phenomenal. I feel bad for the guy that he's having to wrestle Omos. So I'm not.
He's going to be ragdolled, which is sad.
Yeah, we're not going to give predictions. We're just going to run down the card really quick.
Okay.
RK Bro and Street Profits and Alpha Academy.
I hope RK Bro keeps.
RK Bro is entertaining. I think they should take the off them personally, but I think it's time for Orton to be the Viper again, man. This character that he's got going on with RK Bro, it's run its course. It's time. Randy Orton really deserved to be the all-time winningest WWE World Champion. The guy has never left, hasn't gone off to Hollywood. He's got almost as many belts as Cena. I think it's time they make him the guy. That's my opinion. He needs to get a couple title runs and then call it a day.
I personally thought that he was going to get Rumble so that way he can main event Mania and get that title belt. Because I think he's a 15-time. Is that correct? So I think he would be matching.
I think he's 14.
14?
Yeah.
Yeah, 14.
And so then he'd be 15.
Yeah.
He's going to be the only one at 15. And then we have Ric Flair and Cena at 16. I really hope we get Cena to be the one that gets that 17 title match.
All right, we'll save that conversation for another day. We'll save it for another. He's out making movies and doing.
I'm over here trying to go to like Mania 49, huh?
49.
All right, so let's do back. All right, we got a couple minutes. I want to get us off the air before an hour because YouTube is stupid and I can't, or Instagram is stupid and I can't upload anything that's over an hour. So quickly, Pat McAfee and Austin Theory. Oh my God, this should be the kickoff show match. I fucking hate Pat McAfee. Austin Theory, I think the kid's going to be great. We'll see. So like I said, we're not giving predictions. We're just running down the card. Johnny Knoxville and Sami Zayn, this match shouldn't even happen.
Another celebrity match.
You got a fatal 4-way women's tag team champion. What? Okay, sure. Yeah. Women's tag team championship. They haven't these belts, they might as well scrap them. They might as well scrap them.
They should have them on night 1 and then had Becky and Bellaire on night 2.
And night 2.
Right?
Yep.
They should have us booking this shit, right? Because right now it's not making sense. And here's a match that I don't care about, but I think it'll probably be solid is Edge and AJ Styles. I'm ready to see Edge ride off into the sunset personally, but AJ's phenomenal, just like his moniker. He'll probably carry Edge because I don't think Edge is that good in the ring anymore. Personally, I don't know. That's my opinion. I don't know.
I'm waiting for AJ's
big Edge fan.
Great.
I'm not a big Edge guy.
No. All right.
No.
Here we go. Main event. Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns. I think, unfortunately, Liz and I are cheering for Brock. Unfortunately, it's probably not going to go down that way. But who knows? You never know. WWE can surprise everyone, and Brock can unify the title. Maybe Roman Reigns needs to go on a nice little vacation for a while. I personally wouldn't mind that.
Looking forward to this rematch for the 47th time.
Right, but it's being dubbed as the greatest WrestleMania match of all time.
Yeah.
Of all time.
It's going to be a good match. You know they're going to put on a good match because we've seen this 46 other times.
Yes.
But what's the outcome going to be? I don't know. Me and Kenny got a little bet going. So, Kenny, if you're listening, be ready because, you're going to be rocking.
We're going to wear this shirt.
Liz is going to send you her Suplex City shirt. Well, hey, guys, thank you so much. This has been ATW All Things Wrestling Podcast. This has been our WrestleMania Night 1 recap. Next week, it's a whole new season. The season starts over. WrestleMania season's over. Now we're heading into SummerSlam after this. So we'll see what Monday Night Raw looks like. Man, I hope WWE shakes it up and we see some actual new storylines going into the new season. But I won't hold my breath. Any last thoughts? PWP, Liz? You got 30 seconds.
All set for night 2. Let's get ready for night 2.
Catch up, watch the Stone Cold match. PWP, always good to have you on, brother. And that's ATW All Things Wrestling Podcast. Happy Sunday, and we're out.